Meet Lucas Reed, the golden boy of New York City's jewelry scene. He's the CEO of Reed Gems, a company that turns rocks into riches. Tall, charming, with eyes that could sell a diamond to a skeptic. But today he's not in his penthouse office. He's sprinting through the streets, away from a wedding he never wanted. His family, the Reeds, are old money, the kind that expects you to marry up and smile for the cameras. Isabel Grant, his bride-to-be, is perfect on paper. Rich, poised, the daughter of a shipping magnate. Trouble is, Lucas doesn't love her. Never did. So when the organ starts playing and the guests start clapping, he bolts, out the back door, into a cab and straight to Brooklyn. His tuxedo jacket's gone, tossed in a dumpster somewhere near Times Square. All he's got left is a wrinkled shirt, messy hair, and a wild need to disappear. Across town, there's Clare Donovan. She's 30, tough, and raising a 5-year-old son named Caleb on her own. She's got a quick laugh and a quicker temper, the kind of woman who doesn't back down. By day, she's dodging traffic on her beat-up bike, delivering burgers and sushi to people who tip too little. By night, she's hunched over a sketch pad, drawing jewelry designs that could rival anything in a Fifth Avenue window. She dreams of a big break, but right now, she's just trying to pay for Caleb's school supplies. Brooklyn's her home, a cramped apartment with peeling paint and a landlord who never fixes the sink. It's not much, but it's hers. Caleb's her world. A bundle of energy with a mop of brown hair and questions that never stop. Together, they're a team, scraping by, one delivery at a time. It's a rainy Tuesday when their paths cross. Lucas, soaked and desperate, stumbles into Clare's neighborhood. He's got no plan, just a wad of cash and a hunch that Brooklyn's far enough from his old life. He knocks on doors, looking for a room, any room. Most slam shut. Then he reaches Clare's place. She opens the door, hair in a messy bun, Caleb peeking out from behind her legs. Lucas looks like he's been through a storm, which he has. He offers a quick story, says he's down on his luck, needs a place to crash. Clare squints at him, sizing him up. His shirt's expensive, even if it's rumpled. His shoes scream money, even if they're scuffed. But she spots the desperation in his eyes, and more importantly, the cash in his hand. Caleb needs a new backpack, and rent's due. Against her better judgment, she steps aside. What Lucas doesn't know is that Clare's more than a stranger. 5 years ago, in a blur of laughter and too many drinks, he met a woman with a mole on her shoulder. A night he can't quite piece together. What Clare doesn't know is that the man standing in her living room runs the company she's always dreamed of working for, and neither of them knows that Caleb, with his big eyes and bigger questions, might just be the thread tying their past to a future they never saw coming. So, there Lucas stands, dripping wet on Clare's faded rug, while she counts the bills he handed her, wondering if she's made a huge mistake. Caleb tugs at her sleeve, whispering something about the funny man, and the rain keeps falling outside, setting the stage for everything that's about to unfold. So there Lucas Reed stands, dripping wet on Clare Donovan's faded rug, while she counts the bills he handed her, wondering if she's made a huge mistake. Caleb tugs at her sleeve, whispering something about the funny man, and the rain keeps falling outside. Clare pockets the cash and points Lucas to a corner of the living room. She tells him he can sleep on the couch. But only if he proves he's not trouble. Lucas nods, pulling out a fake ID his assistant Miles whipped up on short notice. The name on it reads Lucas Taylor, unemployed, recently dumped, looking for a fresh start. Clare squints at the card, then at him. It looks legit enough, and she's too tired to argue. She mutters something about keeping the noise down and heads to the kitchen to finish Caleb's dinner. Lucas slumps onto the couch, its springs creaking under him. He's out of his element, a man used to marble floors and personal chefs, now surrounded by mismatched furniture and the faint smell of old pizza boxes. Caleb stares at him from across the room, clutching a toy truck. The kid's got questions, and he's not shy about asking them. He marches over and demands to know why Lucas smells like rain and fancy soap. Lucas chuckles, caught off guard, and says he got stuck in a storm. Caleb narrows his eyes, unconvinced, then declares him Uncle Messy because of his soggy shirt. Claire overhears and smirks, tossing Lucas a towel from the laundry pile. She warns Caleb to leave the new guy alone, but there's a flicker of amusement in her voice. The next morning, Lucas tries to blend in. He figures if he's going to hide out here, he needs to act normal. Claire's already out delivering breakfast orders, leaving him with a note that says to lock up when he leaves. He decides to make coffee, but the machine's a mystery. He presses buttons, spills grounds, and ends up with a puddle on the counter. Then he tackles the toaster, aiming to surprise Caleb with breakfast. 2 minutes later, smoke's curling up and the bread's a charred mess. Caleb wanders in, sniffs the air, and bursts out laughing. He grabs a cereal box and hands it to Lucas, saying, "Uncle Messy's cooking stinks." Lucas grins, admitting defeat, and pours them both bowls of sugary flakes. They sit at the rickety table, crunching away, and for a moment, Lucas forgets he's a runaway CEO. Claire gets back around noon, arms full of grocery bags. She finds Lucas trying to fix a dripping faucet with a butter knife, water spraying everywhere. She drops the bags and snaps at him to step aside. He's soaked again, looking sheepish, while she twists a wrench like it's second nature. Caleb claps, cheering for his mom, and Lucas can't help but laugh. She's tough, this one, and he's starting to like it. But then she notices his watch, a sleek silver thing peeking out from his sleeve. She frowns and asks how a broke guy affords something like that. Lucas stammers, says it's a knockoff from a street vendor. Claire's not buying it, but Caleb interrupts, begging for a story. Lucas spins a tale about a pirate who lost his ship, and the kid's hooked, giggling through every twist. That night, Claire's at the table, sketching under a dim lamp. Lucas watches from the couch, pretending to read an old magazine. Her pencil dances across the page, turning rough lines into a necklace that sparkles even in black and white. He's seen designs like that before, pitched in his boardroom, but hers have something extra, a soul he can't place. She catches him staring and snaps the sketchbook shut, asking what his deal is. He shrugs, says he's just curious. She rolls her eyes but softens when Caleb stumbles out, sleepy, asking for water. Lucas jumps up, grabs a glass, and hands it over with a goofy bow. Claire shakes her head, hiding a smile. Days turn into a week, and Lucas settles into a strange routine. He's still useless at chores, flooding the sink when he tries to wash dishes, but he's good with Caleb. He builds block towers with the kid, letting him knock them down with glee. Claire watches, wary but warming up. She starts to wonder about this guy who's all thumbs yet somehow fits into their chaos. Lucas, meanwhile, can't shake a nagging thought. 5 years ago, he had a night he barely remembers. A bar in Manhattan, a woman with a mole on her shoulder. He squints at Claire when she's not looking, trying to match her to that blurry memory. Her shoulders covered by a sweatshirt, but the idea lingers. One evening, Claire comes home exhausted, her bike chain busted from a long shift. Lucas offers to fix it, claiming he's handy with tools. She snorts, doubting him, but lets him try. He fumbles with a wrench, grease smearing his hands, and somehow makes it worse. Caleb giggles, calling him a superhero who's bad at saving the day. Claire takes over, fixing it in minutes, but she's laughing now, a real laugh that lights up the room. Lucas wipes his hands on his jeans, grinning back, and something shifts. She tells him he's not so bad for a guy who can't cook or clean. He says she's not so bad either for a bossy landlord. Their banter's cut short when Claire's phone buzzes. A late delivery order, extra cash if she hurries. She grabs her jacket, but Caleb clings to her leg, whining that he's tired of her leaving. Lucas steps in, offering to watch him. Claire hesitates, searching his face, then nods. She's out the door, and Lucas is left with Caleb, who demands a bedtime story. He invents one about a knight hiding from a dragon, and Caleb's asleep before the end. Lucas sits there, the apartment quiet, and wonders how he went from running a company to babysitting in Brooklyn. Claire's sketches sit on the table, calling to him, and that memory from 5 years ago creeps back, louder now, as the rain taps the window again. Claire's sketches sit on the table, calling to Lucas Reed, and that memory from 5 years ago creeps back, louder now, as the rain taps the window again. He's still sitting there when Claire gets home, her jacket damp from the late delivery. She finds Caleb asleep on the couch, curled up next to Lucas, who's flipping through a kid's book he was reading aloud. She pauses in the doorway, surprised, then softens. She thanks him, her voice quiet, and says he didn't have to stay up. Lucas shrugs, says it's no trouble, and helps her carry Caleb to bed. The kid mumbles something about nights, and they both smile, a moment of unspoken truce. The next day, Lucas decides to cook dinner. Claire's out on his shift, and he wants to prove he's not useless. He picks crab legs, cheap from the market, thinking it's a safe bet. Caleb watches, perched on a stool, offering tips like a tiny chef. Lucas boils the water, cracks the shells, and sets the table with mismatched plates. When Claire walks in, she's hit with the smell and grins, impressed. They sit down, digging in, laughing as Caleb makes a mess. But halfway through, Lucas feels an itch on his neck. He scratches, then notices Caleb doing the same, red patches blooming on the kid's arms. Claire drops her fork, alarmed, and asks if they're okay. Lucas waves it off, saying it's nothing, but his throat's tightening too. She digs through a drawer, pulls out antihistamines, and hands them over. Turns out they're both allergic to crab, a fact that hits Lucas like a brick. He stares at Caleb, then at Claire, wheels turning. She's too busy fussing over Caleb to notice his look. She apologizes, says she forgot he might have allergies, and blames herself for not checking. Lucas brushes it off, joking that he's the one who cooked the disaster. Caleb giggles through a stuffy nose, calling it the itchy crab adventure. Claire relaxes, but Lucas can't shake it. Later, as she cleans up, he tests another hunch. He grabs a red crayon and a green one, asking Caleb to name them. The kid squints, guesses wrong, mixing them up. Lucas feels his chest tighten again. He's red-green colorblind too, has been since he was a kid. Same as Caleb. He glances at Claire, wiping down the counter, and wonders if it's coincidence or something bigger. That night, Lucas slips into the bathroom with his phone. He calls Miles, his assistant, keeping his voice low. He tells him to dig into a woman from 5 years ago, someone he met at a bar in Manhattan. A mole on her shoulder, that's all he remembers. Miles groans, says it's a long shot, but promises to try. Lucas hangs up, staring at his reflection, then at the door where Claire's humming to Caleb. He steps out casual, but his mind's racing. She's in a tank top now, shoulder bare, and there it is, a small mole, faint but clear. His breath catches, but she turns away, oblivious, tucking Caleb in. The next morning, Claire's got a big delivery to Reed Gems. She straps on her bike helmet, grumbling about corporate types who order fancy lunches. Lucas offers to watch Caleb again, playing it cool. She agrees, rushing out, and he's left wondering if fate's messing with him. At Reed Gems, Claire drops off a stack of sushi boxes at the lobby desk. She's chatting with the security guard, joking about the rich folks upstairs, when Lucas watches from his office window, 30 floors up. He's supposed to be in a meeting, but he's frozen, staring at her. She's got that spark, the same one he saw in her sketches, and he can't look away. Miles walks in, sees him, and asks what's wrong. Lucas mutters something about the view, brushing it off, but his heart's pounding. Back home, Caleb's got a school art project due. Lucas volunteers to help, pulling out paper and markers. They're drawing a castle, and Caleb's bossing him around, saying the towers need more flags. Lucas laughs, following orders, and they're a mess of glue and giggles by the time Claire returns. She finds them sprawled on the floor, castle half-built, and pauses. She tells Lucas he's good with Caleb, her tone softer than usual. He says it's easy, the kid's a natural, and she nods, almost wistful. She adds that they don't need anyone else, just the two of them, but her eyes linger on him a second too long. Over the next few days, Lucas notices more. Caleb's got his stubborn streak, the way he scrunches his nose when he's mad. It's familiar, too familiar. One afternoon, they're playing catch in the tiny backyard, a patch of concrete behind the building. Caleb trips, scrapes his knee, and Lucas scoops him up, calming him down with a silly song. Claire watches from the window, arms crossed, and feels a tug she can't name. She shakes it off, reminding herself he's just a tenant, a guy with a fake ID and a weird watch. But when Caleb hugs Lucas, calling him Uncle Messy, she wonders if she's been too quick to shut the world out. That evening, Claire is delivering again, and Lucas takes Caleb to the park. The kids running ahead, pointing at traffic lights, asking what color they are. Lucas answers, then realizes Caleb can't tell red from green just like him. He kneels down, double-checking, and Caleb shrugs, saying, "It's all the same." Lucas laughs, ruffling his hair, but inside he's reeling. Back at the apartment, Claire's home, exhausted but smiling. She asks how it went, and Lucas says Caleb's a champ, leaving out the colorblind bit. She thanks him, and he nods, casual, but his mind's elsewhere. As Claire crashes on the couch, Lucas sits nearby, pretending to scroll his phone. He's piecing it together. The allergies, the colors, that mole. 5 years ago keeps echoing. A night he can't pin down. Caleb wanders over, sleepy, and climbs onto Lucas, mumbling about park adventures. Claire watches, half asleep, and says, "He's not so bad for a roommate." Lucas grins, says, "She's not so bad for a boss," and the room feels warmer, smaller, like something shifting. Outside, Brooklyn hums along, lights flickering, and Lucas knows he's not just hiding anymore. He's finding something he didn't expect. Outside, Brooklyn hums along, lights flickering, and Lucas Reed knows he's not just hiding anymore. He's finding something he didn't expect. Claire Donovan's asleep on the couch, Caleb sprawled across her, while Lucas sits nearby, his mind buzzing. He's got a plan brewing, one he's been mulling over since he saw her sketches. The next morning, while Claire's out delivering breakfast orders, he snaps photos of her latest designs. A bracelet with flowing lines and a pendant that catches the light just right. He emails them to Miles, his assistant, with a simple note. "Get these to the design team at Reed Gems," anonymously. Miles texts back, asking if he's lost it, but Lucas insists, says it's a hunch. He's betting on Claire even if she doesn't know it yet. Claire comes home that afternoon, tired but buzzing. She's got a voicemail from Reed Gems offering her a spot as a design assistant. She plays it twice, stunned, then whoops loud enough to wake Caleb napping on the couch. He stumbles over, asking what's up, and she scoops him up, spinning him around. She tells Lucas she's finally getting a shot, a real job, not just peddling food around. He grins, playing dumb, says, "It's about time someone saw her talent, and she's too excited to question it, already planning how to juggle shifts and daycare." Lucas watches, feeling a mix of pride and guilt, knowing he's behind it but not ready to spill. Her first day at Reed Gems is a whirlwind. She walks into the sleek Manhattan office, a far cry from Brooklyn's grit, clutching her sketchbook like a lifeline. The team's friendly enough, but then she meets Vanessa Pierce, a senior designer with sharp eyes and sharper words. Vanessa sizes her up, smirking, and says she remembers Claire from years ago. A nobody who thought she could design. Claire freezes, the memory hitting hard. 5 years back, Vanessa stole her college project, claimed it as her own, and got Claire kicked out of a scholarship program. She clenches her jaw, says that's old news, but Vanessa leans in, whispering she's surprised a delivery girl made it this far. Claire fires back, says talent doesn't need a degree, and walks off, determined to prove it. Lucas, meanwhile, slips into the office later, posing as a random coworker. He's got a hoodie and a fake badge Miles rigged up, blending into the open-plan chaos. He finds Claire at a desk sketching furiously and plops down nearby, asking what she's working on. She's wary but shows him. A necklace with bold curves and tiny gem accents. He nods, impressed, and suggests tweaking the clasp for balance. She squints at him, asks how he knows that, and he shrugs, says he's picked up a few things. They banter, her guard dropping, and soon they're hunched over the design together, pencil scratching late into the evening. Her hand brushes his, accidental, and she pulls back, flustered. He smiles, says she's got a gift, and she mutters a thanks, cheeks pink. Their late-night session gets interrupted by Vanessa the next day. She's been sniffing around, suspicious of Claire's sudden rise. During a team meeting, Vanessa pitches a necklace design, sleek and bold, that looks eerily like Claire's from the night before. Claire's stomach drops, recognizing her own work. She checks her email, finds Vanessa somehow accessed her drafts overnight. A sneaky forward from Claire's shared folder. She stands up, voice shaking, and calls it out, says, "That's her design." Vanessa laughs, smooth as silk, says, "Claire's delusional, no proof, just a newbie trying to stir trouble." The team shifts uncomfortably, and Clare sits down, fuming, vowing to fight back. Lucas watches the whole thing from the back, jaw tight. He knows Vanessa's game, has seen her type before, all flash and no substance. He wants to step in, blow his cover, but holds off, trusting Clare to handle it. After the meeting, he finds her at her desk, head in her hands. He sits down, casual, and asks if she's okay. She snaps that she's fine, then softens, admitting Vanessa's done this before, wrecked her once. Lucas listens, then says she's tougher than that, she'll figure it out. Clare nods, steely, and says she's not letting it slide this time. He offers to help, says he's good at digging up dirt, and she laughs, asking if he's a detective now. He grins, says maybe, and they're back at it, plotting over coffee cups. The next few days, Clare pours everything into a new design, something Vanessa can't touch. Lucas sticks close, tossing ideas, keeping her spirits up. They're at the office late again, the city glowing outside, and she's sketching a ring, simple but striking. He suggests a hidden gem inside, a secret detail, and she lights up, saying it's perfect. They're close now, elbows touching, and the air's thick with something unspoken. She catches his eye, asks why he's so invested, and he says he believes in her, plain and simple. She holds his gaze, then looks away, saying he's weirdly good at this for a nobody. He chuckles, hiding the truth, and they keep working, a quiet rhythm building. Back in Brooklyn, Caleb notices Claire's happier. She's humming while cooking, telling him about her job, and he asks if Uncle Messie's coming over. She says he's around, and Caleb beams, saying he's fun. Lucas shows up that night, bringing pizza, and they eat on the floor, Caleb stealing extra slices. Claire watches them, feeling a pull she's not ready to name. She's starting to trust Lucas, this odd guy who fits into her life too easily. But at Gems, Vanessa's not done. She's got Claire's stolen design locked in, ready to present it higher up, and Lucas knows it's only a matter of time before it blows up. He's got Miles pulling email logs, proof of the theft, but he's waiting, letting Claire take the lead, hoping she'll shine through the mess. As the week ends, Claire finishes her ring design, showing it to Lucas with a grin. He says it's a winner, could shake up the whole team. She nods, fierce, and says she's ready to fight for it. He watches her, proud, but that 5-year-old memory nags louder, tying her to him in ways she doesn't suspect. The office hums with tension, Vanessa smirking across the room, and Lucas feels the stakes rising, knowing he's in deeper than he planned. The office hums with tension, Vanessa Pierce smirking across the room, and Lucas Reed feels the stakes rising, knowing he's in deeper than he planned. Claire Donovan's ring design sits finished on her desk, a quiet triumph, but Vanessa's stolen necklace pitch is looming. The next morning, Reed Gems holds a big design review, the kind where careers are made or broken. Claire's nervous, clutching her sketchbook, while Lucas lurks in the back, still posing as a co-worker in his hoodie. Vanessa steps up first, all confidence, unveiling the necklace Claire poured her heart into. She spins a story about its inspiration, bold lines for bold women, and the team nods, impressed. Claire's face drains, her fists clenching, but she waits, letting Vanessa finish. When it's her turn, Claire stands, voice steady. She holds up her ring sketch, explaining its hidden gem, a symbol of strength beneath simplicity. The room murmurs, liking it, but Vanessa cuts in, laughing. She says Claire's just jealous, trying to ride her coattails with a cheap knockoff story. Claire fires back, says the necklace Vanessa showed is hers, stolen from her email. Vanessa shrugs, cool as ever, asking for proof. Claire falters, no hard evidence in hand, and the team shifts, doubting her. Lucas watches, gut twisting, knowing he can't stay quiet anymore. He steps forward, pulling off his hoodie, and the room goes still. He says he's Lucas Reed, CEO of Reed Gems, and everyone gasps, head swiveling. Claire's jaw drops, her eyes narrowing as he keeps talking. He tells the team Vanessa's a fraud, that he's got security footage from the office cameras. Miles emailed him the clip overnight showing Vanessa sneaking into Claire's shared folder after hours. He plays it on the projector, grainy but clear, Vanessa's smug face lit by her screen. The team erupts, whispering, and Vanessa stammers, saying it's a misunderstanding. Lucas shuts her down, says she's done, blacklisted from Reed Gems and beyond. She storms out, fuming, and the room claps. But Claire's not cheering. She turns on Lucas, voice low and sharp. She asks why he lied, pretending to be some broke nobody when he's the boss of everything she's dreamed of. He tries to explain, says he was hiding from his life, not her, but she's not having it. She grabs her bag, says she's out, can't trust him, and heads for the elevator. Lucas follows, pleading, but she cuts him off, saying he's no better than Vanessa, playing games with people's lives. The doors close, leaving him staring at his reflection, her words ringing. Back in Brooklyn, Claire's pacing her apartment, Caleb coloring at the table. She's ranting to herself, furious at Lucas, at how he wormed into her world under false pretenses. Caleb looks up, asks where Uncle Messi is, and she snaps that he's gone, then softens, hugging him. She's shaken, realizing how much she let him in, how much Caleb likes him. Meanwhile, Lucas is at his penthouse, tie loose, staring at the city. He calls Miles, asks if the woman from 5 years ago matches Claire, the mole, the timing. Miles says it's her, only one in the system with those traits. And Lucas exhales, pieces clicking. He tells Miles about Caleb, the allergies, the color blindness, and Miles whistles, saying he's got a kid out there. Lucas says maybe, but Claire won't hear it. That night, Claire's phone rings. It's Eleanor Reed, Lucas's mom, voice clipped and cold. She accuses Claire of messing with her son's engagement to Isabel Grant, says she's a gold digger sniffing around the family fortune. Claire bites back, says she doesn't want Lucas or his money, just her life with Caleb. Eleanor huffs, hangs up, but the call rattles her. The next day, Eleanor's in Manhattan, stressed from the fight, when she faints outside a coffee shop. Claire's nearby delivering an order and rushes over, helping her sit, fetching water. Eleanor blinks, recognizes her from the call, and softens, as Claire stays calm, steady. She mutters thanks, says Claire's got guts, not like the fakes she knows. Claire shrugs, says she's just a mom, and leaves. But Eleanor's wheels are turning. Lucas hears about it from Miles, who saw the whole thing. He tracks Claire down at her next delivery spot, a deli near Brooklyn Bridge. She's unloading bags when he shows up, hands up like he's surrendering. He says he's sorry, for the lies, for everything, and admits he's been looking for her since that night 5 years ago. He points to her shoulder, the mole, and says it's her, he knows it. Claire freezes, then shakes her head, says Caleb's from an ex, not him. Her voice cracking. He steps closer, says the crab. The colors, it's too much to ignore. But she backs off, eyes hard. She tells him to leave her alone, she doesn't need his truth, and walks away, leaving him in the rain. At home, Claire's quiet, watching Caleb play. She's replaying Lucas's words, doubting her own story. She always told herself Caleb's dad was a guy who left, but the dates blur in her mind now. Lucas, meanwhile, calls Eleanor, asking what she thinks. She's gruff, but says Claire's solid, saved her today, maybe worth keeping around. Isabel's on another line, whining to Eleanor about Lucas slipping away, but Eleanor cuts her off, says he's got bigger things to figure out. Lucas hangs up, staring at a photo Miles sent. Claire's mole zoomed in from some old security still. He's sure now, but Claire's walls are up and he's stuck wondering how to break through. Caleb climbs into Claire's lap, asking if Uncle Messi's mad at them. She hugs him tight, says, no, just complicated, and he nods, trusting her. Outside, the city hums, and Lucas knows he's not done fighting. Not for Claire, not for the kid who might be his, not for the life he's starting to want. Outside, the city hums, and Lucas Reed knows he's not done fighting. Not for Claire Donovan, not for the kid who might be his. not for the life he's starting to want. Caleb's question hangs in the air as Clare holds him close, her mind tangled with doubt and defiance. She's up half the night, staring at old photos, trying to pin down that blurry year when Caleb came along. Lucas haunts her thoughts, his words about the mole, the allergies, chipping at her store. She shakes it off, tells herself she's fine alone. But sleep doesn't come easy. Across town, Lucas is restless too, pacing his penthouse, replaying every moment with her and Caleb. He's got a plan, something big, and he's betting it all on her. The next day, Claire's back at Reed Gems, head down, avoiding whispers about Vanessa's exit. Lucas left her alone after the deli, but his presence lingers. She's working on a new design, a necklace called Lover's Promise, pouring her frustration into every line. It's simple, 2 strands weaving together, a tiny gem where they meet. She finishes it late, alone in the office, and emails it to the team for the upcoming NYC Expo. She doesn't know Lucas saw it too, forwarded by Miles, and he's already pushing it to the top. Days later, the expo hits, a glitzy affair in Manhattan's Javits Center. Claire's there, nervous but proud, watching buyers circle her display. Lover's Promise steals the show, breaking Reed Gems' sales records in hours. The team cheers, slapping her back, and she grins, feeling the wind she's chased so long. Lucas watches from the crowd, soup sharp, no more hoodie disguise. He's beaming, not as CEO, but as the guy who believed in her first. Claire spots him, her smile fading, then softening. She walks over, asks why he's here, and he says he wouldn't miss it. Her big moment. She nods, guarded, but thanks him, admitting he helped get her here. He says it's all her, always was, and the air shifts, lighter. Back in Brooklyn, Caleb's birthday rolls around, and Lucas shows up, uninvited, arms full. He's got a superhero watch, limited edition, gleaming on the kid's wrist. Caleb whoops, tackling him in a hug, and asks if he can be his dad. Claire's breath catches, her eyes locking on Lucas, who kneels to Caleb's level, saying, "He'd like that, if it's okay with Mom." She pulls Lucas aside, voice low, asking what he's playing at. He's steady, says he's not playing, he's serious, about her, about Caleb, about them. She's torn, walls cracking, and tells him she needs time, still stung from the lies. He nods, says he'll wait, however long it takes. Caleb interrupts, begging for pizza, and they give in, eating on the floor like old times. Claire watches Lucas tease Caleb, stealing a slice, and her heart tugs. She's softening, but not sold, not yet. That night, Eleanor Reed calls Lucas, gruff but warm. She says Claire's a keeper, proved it saving her, and offers to fund a penthouse for them, a family starter. Lucas laughs, says thanks, but he and Claire will figure it out themselves, together. Eleanor grumbles, proud anyway, and hangs up. The expo's final night arrives, lights blazing, buyers buzzing. Claire's in a borrowed dress, simple but elegant, standing by her display. Lover's Promise is the talk of the event, orders piling up, and she's glowing, a designer at last. Lucas approaches, holding a small box, and the crowd parts. He opens it, revealing a ring, her design flipped into reality, a hidden gem inside. He drops to one knee, voice clear, saying it's always been her, since that night 5 years ago, and he wants every day from now on. Claire's stunned, the room holding its breath, and she looks at him, really looks. She sees the guy who burned toast, who built castles with Caleb, who fought for her when she couldn't. She nods, a quiet yes, and says, "Let's build something real." He slides the ring on, the crowd cheers, and they're locked in a moment, Brooklyn's grit meeting Manhattan's shine. Back home, Caleb's thrilled, jumping on the couch, asking if Lucas is staying forever. Claire laughs, says they'll see, but her hand's in Lucas's, steady. They're packing for a trip, a weekend away to celebrate, when Eleanor shows up, unexpected. She's got a gift, a savings bond for Caleb's college, and says it's not the penthouse, but it's a start. Claire thanks her, surprised, and Eleanor winks, saying she's family now, like it or not. Lucas grins, pulling Claire close, and Caleb declares he's got the best team ever. They head out, a trio plus one, and Brooklyn fades behind them, a new chapter opening. Months pass, and Claire's thriving at Reed Gems, her designs in stores across the city. Lucas steps back from the CEO grind, letting her shine, running things from the sidelines. They're in a new place, not a penthouse, but a brownstone they picked together, big enough for Caleb to run wild. He's starting school soon, proud of his watch, telling kids his dad's a superhero. Claire's sketching again, late at night, Lucas beside her tossing ideas. She's happy not just surviving, but living. And he's found what he ran for, a home he never knew he needed. One evening, they're on the stoop, Caleb asleep upstairs. Claire leans on Lucas, quiet, and says she's glad he knocked on her door. He smiles, says he's glad she didn't slam it, and they laugh, soft and easy. She admits the ex story was a shield, that Caleb's his, always was, and he pulls her closer, saying he knew, just waited for her to see it. They sit there, city lights twinkling, and it's not perfect, not fancy, but it's theirs. Lover's promise hangs around her neck, a reminder of where they started and where they're going, together. Claire Donovan leans on Lucas Reed, the city lights twinkling, and it's not perfect, not fancy, but it's theirs. Lover's promise hangs around her neck, a reminder of where they started and where they're going, together. That's the journey we've followed, from a rainy night in Brooklyn to a brownstone filled with laughter. Lucas went from a runaway CEO, dodging a life he didn't want, to a man who found his heart in the chaos. Claire climbed from pedaling through the streets, a single mom with big dreams, to a designer whose name lights up New York. And Caleb, well, he got his team, a mom and dad who'd fight for him, allergies and all. It's a story about second chances, about finding love where you least expect it, and believing in yourself when the odds stack high. Lucas knocked on a stranger's door and found his family. Claire opened it, not knowing she'd open her future too. They stumbled through lies, crab disasters, and office battles, but came out stronger. A little messy, a lot real. Brooklyn gave them a hideaway, and they turned it into a home, proving sometimes the best things start with a leap or a sprint from a wedding you didn't sign up for. So, that's their tale, but it's not the end for us. Next time, we've got a florist who falls for a secret admirer, leaving roses and riddles in her shop. It's another ride of love and surprises, and I'd hate for you to miss it. Hit that subscribe button, tap the bell, and join me for more stories that warm your heart and make you smile. What did you think of Lucas and Claire? Would you trust a roommate who turned out to be a CEO? Or would you slam the door? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one, and let's chat about it. Thanks for sticking with me through this Brooklyn adventure. You're the best part of this journey. See you soon with more love, more laughs, and maybe a few more secrets.